Welcome to Tai Chi on this lovely Wednesday morning. All right, we're ready to get started. You can start however you would like. I'm going to start with my feet together. And before we take any steps into the wonderful world of Tai Chi, I just want you to know if you've never done this before, you don't have to remember anything. You don't have to learn anything. All you have to do is follow along and go with the flow. Now, I like to start with my arms nice and wide open, opening my chest, opening my heart, taking a nice deep breath. And then as I let everything out, I'm going to float my arms gently down. And then floating right back up, like the wings of a bird. Rising as I inhale, falling as I exhale. Like I'm floating through the sky. Beautiful. One more. And then this time, as your arms come up, we're going to bring them out and around, circling in for a big hug until our fingertips are almost touching, and then flip the palms over and slide right down the front of your body. We call this one sinking the chi. And that's a great way to settle and release. To ground yourself. Beautiful. Let's do one more of those. As my hands come down to rest by my legs, I'm going to step out with one foot, doesn't matter which foot. And then my hands float right back up in front. And then as they reach shoulder height, my elbows drop and everything starts to come in and sink and soften. Still settling, sinking down, melting. Like water dripping down an icicle. Slowly and gently. Beautiful. This time as our hands come up, we're going to turn our palms to face each other, open out nice and wide. And then we're going to take one hand and scoop it on the bottom. The other hand's going to scoop on top for embrace the moon. Opening out nice and wide as we inhale. And then closing with the other hand on bottom as we exhale. Still sinking down as we exhale, letting everything soften. Beautiful. This time, as our hands come back together for that big hug, we're going to go back to sinking the chi. Palms flip, slide down the front, and then come up on an angle towards the corners of the room. Perfect. Hands floating back up in front. And from here, they're just going to start drifting to one corner and then the other. Letting your body sway side to side. Feeling your weight shift. Making one foot full and heavy, and the other foot empty and light. Beautiful. Now when you get back to this corner, we're going to stop here. One hand's going to float down and then come up and circle around. We're just going to float in a circle, still swaying, bringing one hand through nice and gently. And then as we reach the top on the other side, we're going to change directions. We're just moving around that loop, slowly and gently. Beautiful. One more here. And then as your hand comes up into that corner, both hands together, you're going to go back to your drift. Nice and easy. Like branches of a tree floating in the breeze. When you get to the next corner, you're going to stop there. That opposite hand is just going to continue making a nice loop. Smooth and gentle, still swaying. Other hand's just hanging out. Maybe the leaves start to droop a little. Everything softens and relaxes. And then we bounce back and go the other direction. Smoothly stroking, like we're stroking a blanket, a nice soft, those nice soft microfiber blankets. I love those things. They're so cushiony. One more here, and then as you come up, bring both hands across, drifting. Beautiful, and then making that nice big hug, coming back to the center, opening out nice and wide, and coming back in to sync the chi. Beautiful. One more here. And then floating your hands right up in front, keeping them in the center this time, turning your palms to face each other. And imagining that you're holding a little ball between your hands. And you're just rolling it over, like when you were a kid and you played with Play-Doh. You had that Play-Doh ball that you would just roll around between your palms, trying to get it perfectly smooth. Of course, you could never get it perfectly smooth. That was part of the challenge. Beautiful. Now, as your hands come back over, take that bottom hand, drop it out to the side, and toss that ball away. Bring that hand back in and push forward. Tossing gently. Beautiful. One more here. And now going to the other hand, tossing that ball away, and then bringing it right back in. Letting everything else go, just thinking about gently tossing that ball away. Last one on this side, and then we're going to alternate sides. One hand, and then the other. Beautiful. We call this one avoiding monkeys or repulsing monkeys. Like you're pushing away those primitive monkey thoughts, the ones that hold on, ring in the back of your head. You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones that hold you back, telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't do something. We know they're not true. We're going to take this moment here and tell those monkey thoughts to stop. Back up. Give us a little space. Beautiful. This time, as you toss your ball off to one side, you're going to leave that hand hanging. Bring the other hand in and tap that foot in, and then you're just going to sink down. Coming back into your melting up and down. Slow and gentle. And then adding in your front hand, pushing down. Like you're riding on the waves on a calm day in the ocean. pushing your hand down through the water. And then using your other hand, splashing some water in towards your face to cool you off. Beautiful. And then both hands together. One hand pushing down, the other hand waving in. Perfect. Now, not on this one, but on the next one, we're gonna, as we push down, step out to the side and push forward. Beautiful. And then just rewind it. Bring everything back. Do that again. Beautiful. Hit that rewind button. If you're old like me, you have had a VCR, you know how to rewind stuff. One more rewind. Beautiful. And this time you're going to sit back, drag that hand across and step in. And then you're going to rainbow everything up and over. Bring the other foot in and just melt. Riding up and down on those gentle waves. Feeling the cool water against your skin, pressing that front hand down. Feeling the resistance the water provides. Beautiful. And then on the next one, waving that top hand in. Smelling the salt, feeling the cool droplets on your skin. And then both hands together. Perfect. On this next one, we're going to do that big step out and push. Now this time, instead of just rewinding, drop your front arm and circle both arms around nice and big, and then push again. Drop one, raise the other, circling around, and push. One more. And then sit back on your back leg, drag that hand across, rainbow up and over, step everything in, take your time here, and then go straight into both hands together. You've got it. You know how to do this now. We call this one brush knee with a twisted step. We're about to do the step. On this next one, here we go. Stepping out and push. Big circle and push. Beautiful. I like to inhale as I circle back and exhale as I push, but whatever works for you. I don't care, as long as you're breathing. Let's do one more here. Sit everything back, drag that arm across, rainbow it up and over, straight into both hands. Still floating on the waves. Maybe there's a pelican floating nearby, just hanging out with you in the water. And then on this next one, we're going to do that big step and push. Beautiful. One more here. Sitting back, drag the arm across, step that foot in, rainbow up and over, but this time we're going to go back to our drift, drifting right across, and drifting back. Beautiful. Next time you get to a corner, we're going to pull our hands into our heart space and then push back out. Just pulling in and pushing out, gathering light and energy in, amplifying it with our own and pushing it out to share. Beautiful. One more, and then we're going to drift over to the other side. And then do the same thing in that corner, pulling in and pushing out. sharing with your neighbors on this side now. Sending out light, love, energy, and bringing it back in. Because when we share and grow, there's always enough for all of us. On this next push, we're going to stop and drift over to the other corner and back. When we get to that first corner again, we're going to pull in, but this time we're going to step our foot in, just a little step, and then step out and let your whole body move forward and back. Beautiful. Still with our push-pull motion. We call this one pushing the mountain. Still breathing. How far do you push? I don't care. However far feels good for you. One more push here. And then as you pull in this time, step that foot back in. Finish your push and drift. Coming over to the opposite corner, doing the same thing, tapping that foot in, stepping out. Beautiful. I am fortunate enough that I do live by the beach, so sometimes I do this one in the water. Moving with the waves, with the surge of the ocean. You might be able to close your eyes and imagine that, even if you don't live near the beach. Letting everything go and relax, just letting the water move you. One more push here. As you pull in, step that foot in, push back out, and then come back to your drift. Perfect. Now this time, we're going to drift right into the center, make that big hug, open up nice and wide. And then we're going to take one hand, scoop it under, come back to that embrace the moon, but this time tap a foot in with it. Tap that foot back out and bring one hand up like you're bumping a door with your wrist. Let's do that again. Rock back, bump that door, just tapping it open. Perfect. One more. Bring your other hand up and under. You're going to do a big spiral. Tap that other foot in. And you're holding the moon on the other side. Step out. Bump with your wrist. Beautiful. Like the door's already ajar, you're just opening it a little further. Perfect. Bring that other hand up. Circle around. Come into embrace the moon. Stepping out, we're going to do one bump. And then we're going to bring the other hand up. And like you're pulling a blanket through your hands in a big loop. You're just feeling the cloth slip through your fingers. Smooth, maybe satiny. Beautiful. Now from here, slide that hand under, big spin around, coming back in to the other side, stepping out, one bump, reach up, and then pull that cloth through your hands on this side. Maybe it's a blanket, maybe this time it's a curtain, maybe we weren't opening a door, maybe we were opening a window. Looking out into the world. Beautiful. On this next one, we're going to slide that hand under. Big circle around. Coming back in to embrace the moon. This time, one bump. One pull through. But this time, we're going to toss that cloth away and then press forward. Pulling it through, toss, and press. One more. Beautiful. That hand slides under, big circles. Coming into this side, one bump, one pull through, toss, and press. Beautiful. Last one here, and then that hand slides under, circles around, coming back to this side. So this time we have one bump, one pull through, one press. Now our hands slide apart and we come back into that push-pull we did earlier. Beautiful. Rocking back, pushing forward, sinking into it, allowing everything to settle and relax as we come forward. And then from here, stay with me, come back to the center and just open and circle around to the other side. Beautiful. One bump, one pull through, one press, hands slide apart and coming into those push-pulls. Last one here. And then we come back to the center, open out. One more time on this side. We're gonna put it all together. This whole movement is grasping the sparrow's tail. Bump, pull through, toss away and press. Hands come apart, pull in, and push and settle. Hands come around in that big hug, coming into the other side. And we'll do grasping the sparrow's tail on this side. Bump, pull, toss, press. Beautiful. You know how to do it now. And then coming back to center, opening wide, and this time coming in to sink the chi. I love that one. Grasping the sparrow's tail is one of those combos that everyone's like, oh, it's so complicated, but you can do it. It just takes letting go and flowing along. Beautiful. We're gonna finish off with one more practice. This time, as we float our hands up, instead of coming up to shoulders for sinking the chi, we're gonna come up a little higher and bring our hands over our head and then bounce all the way down to your belly and come back up. Coming around in a nice big circle, like you're scooping under a giant Buddha belly. And then bouncing down, up and over again. Back down to the floor of your belly. Bouncing up to your heart space, but this time making a diamond with your fingers. Pushing forward, like you're stretching out to touch someone across the room. And then let your hands drift down. Beautiful. Coming up and over. Bouncing up and around that big Buddha belly. We actually call this one rubbing the Buddha's belly. And then bouncing down, up and over. Back up to your heart, and then pushing out to open your heart and share. Hold it just a little longer this time, reach just a little further, and then let your hands relax. Beautiful, one more. Up and over. rubbing the Buddha's belly. Up and over. And then opening the heart. Even further this time. Whatever your Care Bear power is, whatever that picture shining out from your heart, from your chest is, this is the time to share it. Light, love, tacos, whatever it is for you. Share it with your friends, your neighbors, strangers across the world. Reach just a little further. And then relax, let everything drift down. One more, sinking the chi, coming just up to that shoulder height, hugging in all that light and energy that we were sending out to you. And then as your hands drift down, step one foot in. And we are done. I thank you so much for coming out to play today.